Welcome back to another edition of the Pagcast. So today with me on the line, I have CFL Grey Cup finalist, Hamilton Ticats wide receiver Mike Jones. I would like to thank him for coming on the Pagcast today. How are you doing? Let's start off with that.
Doing great, man. Doing great.
So who influenced you to start football?
I'd have to say my dad. He played football, and my grandfather. They both played football, and so it kind of just, at him showing me his highlights of when he played, it kind of just, inspired me to start playing.
Well, that's good. So did your dad or grandpa have any career, like any professional career?
No, my dad played at Michigan State, in college at Michigan State, so he played there, and then my grandfather played at Colorado State, and they just played in college. They didn't play outside of college.
Well, that's all right. At least it's good for you to see the experience that, your dad and grandpa had for you to build off of it. So, tell me, how did your CFL path start?
So my senior year of college, after it was over, I started getting ready for. I originally was getting ready for, NFL and trying to go to NFL, and a couple of weeks before my pro day, I get a call from an agent letting me know that, hey, you're eligible to be drafted in the CFL too, since you were born in Canada. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's, I'll give that a shot too. The more options, the better. And so they pushed all my passport and all that stuff over to the CFL offices. I got approved to be drafted in the CFL, and it went from there.
Would you do anything else to change the route that you took?
To change the route that I took? No, I wouldn't. I've been blessed to have the opportunity to play in the CFL, and I've had a pretty good career so far, and so no, I wouldn't change anything. I mean, maybe if I could learn a few things a little earlier as far as like technique stuff, but I mean, you're not always able to get the coaching that you get, you know what I mean, to learn that type of stuff earlier.
You had a breakout year in 2018 with over 800 yards receiving. What contributed to that success?
I would have to say Coach June Jones. He really helped me a lot. I mean, he taught me a lot of different things, and just the type of offense that he ran was it fit my skill set. So I'm more of a speed guy, down the field type of guy, and he liked to throw the ball down the field. So it was a match. And so that just really helped me blossom.
So would you say that June Jones, the systems that he implemented were more deep routes?
Yes, yeah. He liked to put the ball down the field. So a lot of the stuff he ran were deeper routes.
This year, Dane Evans had to step in after Jeremiah Masoli went down with a season-ending injury. Was there a big adjustment for you?
No, not at all. Dane is a high caliber quarterback. He's really good, and I expect him to have a great career in the CFL. So there was no adjustment at all. I mean, he stepped in and played just as well solely that they both prepare really well.
So you, like I said earlier in this podcast, you played in the Grey Cup. How much preparation went into that game?
It was a lot of preparation. But you don't wanna over prepare. So you kind of you realize how big of a game it is, but at the same time, you want to attack it the same way you'd attack any other game during the week. So, I mean, we prepared very well. Unfortunately, we didn't come out with the win, but there's a lot of preparation going into it, but we prepared just as if a regular game of the week, just another game.
Were there any sleepless nights heading up to the Grey Cup?
No, I wouldn't say any sleepless nights. It's important to get your sleep. If you're not getting your sleep, you're not gonna be able to perform. You can't go out there, tired. So I mean, I didn't have any sleepless nights. And you playing so many games, it's just like, kind of you get a little jitters right before the game, but you just playing so many games, all that goes away eventually of not being able to sleep and whatnot. just get used to the lights, the stage.
How does your own preparation change since it's the Grey Cup?
Uh, Nothing really changed. I do the same thing every single game. Only thing that changes is the location. But home and away games, I go through the same things. So what I'll do is I'll get to the stadium about 2 hours before. I'll get the band stretch, roll out, do all that type of stuff, make sure my muscles are nice and loose. And while listening to some different music, I'll throw on some Drake. I like Kevin Gates. I'll listen to that, and then go out for warm ups and whatnot. And then about 15 minutes before you go out into the field, I would pull out my phone and I'll watch videos of my kids. So I'd watch videos of my son, and just to remind you of who you're doing it for, and just to inspire you, just to inspire me. At least that's what gets me going every game. Is my 4-year-old boy and my 9-month-old. So I'd watch different videos of them.
Does your family influence you a lot, would you say?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially my 4-year-old. He would come out to practices and he'd come to all the games, and he was one of the guys on the team pretty much. So yeah, he definitely inspired me a lot, and you could see looking into his eyes of how much I inspired him. So I mean that inspires you even more.
During the Grey Cup, I'm pretty sure this happened in the third quarter. It was in the later half of the game. You suffered a torn labrum and you played through it. How were you able to stay focused on the game and not your injury?
I mean it was tough, but I mean at the same time I'm thinking, this is last game of the season. It's for the Grey Cup. Do you really want to be on the sidelines watching, or do you want to be out there? And I just played through the pain, and I took some pain pills, and I didn't really feel it too much after the pain pills. So it wasn't too difficult to play through once I took the pain pills.
Were you ever worried that this injury would affect your long-term career?
During the game, no, you don't think about that at all. I mean, during the game. But I mean, after the game, when I found out I had to have surgery and all that, and yeah, you start to think about it. But I mean, it's not like no player has ever been through an injury where you have to have surgery. So I mean, it's real common to have injuries like that, and you just go do your rehab. And as long as you're doing everything you're supposed to do, then you'll be fine.
How has the injury been? Like, are you fully healthy now?
I'm at about 85% healthy. I'm running routes, catching balls, doing all that stuff. I got pretty much full range of motion, just trying to get back to full strength, but I'm just about there. With COVID and everything happening, it kind of helped me out, gave me a lot more time to get ready.
You've spent your whole career as a Ticat. What has that experience been like?
It's been a blessing to, not a lot of guys have been blessed to be able to get drafted by a team and stay with them their whole career. So I mean, it's been pretty cool. Hamilton's home for me, so I mean, it's been awesome.
The Ticats are hosting the Grey Cup in about, I'm pretty sure, 2 years from now. What does that announcement mean for you?
Well, I mean, it's great for the city of Hamilton. That'll be awesome for the city. I mean, I just imagine how dope of an experience and how lit that stadium will be. I mean, Hamilton is a great fan atmosphere. They have great fans, and they're rowdy. I'm sure that game's going to be pumping.
Many athletes deal with ups and downs during the season. How do you remain balanced throughout the season?
My family. That's probably pretty much every player's go-to for remaining key for ups and downs. I mean, everyone deals with ups and downs. That's life. I mean, you think about people outside of sports. I mean, nobody's always just perfect. So I mean, it's just really with sports, life helps prepare you for sports, because I mean, you'll experience ups and downs through life, so you'll be able to handle ups and downs in sports.
You spoke about June Jones earlier. Has there been one coaching tip that has stayed with you throughout your career?
One coaching tip from June Jones. Oh, that's tough. He's got
Or it could be any coach. It could be from June. It could be from Orlando.
Coach O, yeah, Coach O's got a million different coaching tips. His famous saying is play the next play. He's always looking for the next play. So you make a mistake, in a play, wipe it, go to the next play. You make a great play, wipe it. You still got to play the next one. So I mean, that's his one of his biggest things. And with June, I would say his is he spoke a lot about family. So I mean, he really brought that family atmosphere to our club. And Coach O, he kind of he did the same thing, and he just kept maintaining that whole family atmosphere that June brought.
Coach O and Coach June, I believe, were on the same coaching staff for a couple years or a year. Was it hard to transfer from one head coach to another when they made the switch?
Not at all, because they had the same beliefs, so it was super easy trenches. Coach O and June had the same beliefs. It's just a matter of Coach O kind of fine tuning it, and that's why you saw the team just take off. What's up, buddy?
I can't.
Yeah, I'll fix it for you. Here you go. There you go. So yeah.
So while you're playing on the road, you've played obviously on the road a bunch of times. By this point, who would you say has the loudest stadium when playing on the road?
The loudest stadium, I would say either Sask or Winnipeg, but I'm gonna go with Sask. Sask is pretty loud.
And does the energy that the fans create, does it mess up the mojo with the offense?
Kind of. Like the energy the fans create, it gives you more energy, but the noise from the fans, it'll make things more chaotic. So I mean, like I'll be standing 3 feet away from somebody and they're yelling at me and I can't hear a thing they're saying. So you got to use more hand signals in an atmosphere like that.
With Randy Ambrosie postponing the start of the CFL, and even possibly canceling the season, what are you hoping is the best option?
Safety. I mean, I just want everybody to be safe, and you'd hate to see something happen to a fan or a player at a game. Say we were to play and someone gets COVID or something like that. So I mean, safety, and hopefully this whole thing passes up real quick and we'll be able to play.
And final question here, what would be your advice for aspiring football players that may look up to you?
My best advice to give for an aspiring football player is just to keep working. I mean, even if you're not good enough today, you can always be good enough tomorrow. So just keep working every day and, get better. Just take one step at a time.
All right, well, that would do it here for this edition of the Pagcast. I'd like to thank, again, Mike Jones, wide receiver for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, for coming on.
Oh, no problem, man.